All right, so you're moving to Tucson, Arizona, but you're not quite sure yet where in Tucson that it is you want to live. Well, I've got you covered because today what I've got for you is a list of the top 10 suburbs in and around Tucson, Arizona. Now, I wanted to actually get some other input on this because it's changed quite a bit over the last 12 to 24 months. So I wanted to get the robots involved, artificial intelligence. So what I did is I headed on over to ChatGPT. So I went and typed in, what are the top 10 suburbs to live in Tucson, Arizona in 2023? Let's see what it's gonna tell us. All right, so it gives us a list here. You know, that's not a bad list actually. I'm not sure I agree with the order, but it is a pretty decent list. So let's go ahead and deep dive into these one by one, and we're getting after it right now. All right, so this is Paul Dunn. I'm a local real estate agent with eXp Realty, as well as a mortgage originator with Nexa Mortgage. So I've got you covered on both sides of the ball if you're making that move here to Tucson. Boy, I don't know if you can hear that, but we got a lot of thunder going on right now. It is monsoon time, baby, monsoon time. But if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about working, living, eating, sleeping, and living in the old Pueblo, that is Tucson, then go ahead and click that little subscribe button, tap that little bell, and you'll be among the first to be notified anytime we drop a new video. Now, Darci and I do get calls every single day from folks who find us on YouTube and want to know more about moving to Tucson. And we absolutely love that too. So if you're thinking about making that move, go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, or whatever. Just reach out to us because we got your back when making that move to Tucson. Man, that thunder is loud. Well, anyway, we've got that top 10 list that we found on ChatGPT about the best suburbs in Tucson. And so let's go ahead and dig into it right now. I don't really agree with everything on that list, but let's see what you think about it. Okay, coming in at number 10 is the Sam Hughes neighborhood. And man, I gotta tell you, I do not agree with ChatGPT. And it's because when people call us from out of state, Sam Hughes neighborhood is one of the most popular places they ask us about. So I really think it should be in the top 5, but that's just me. Now, if you take a look at the Sam Hughes neighborhood, one of the things you're going to notice, it has a lot of historical charm. I mean, these homes were built back in the 1920s, 1930s. You're going to find Spanish Revival type homes, Mediterranean, and a lot of bungalows as well. And another thing that's really cool about the Sam Hughes neighborhood is you've got the Himmel Park right there too. And that's great for picnics, for leisurely strolls, and they even have some tennis courts too, and they do play a lot of sports out there. And the Sam Hughes neighborhood is literally right next door to the University of Arizona. So you've got kind of that academic, Sam Hughes, historical kind of central vibe in this area. It's really cool. And you do get a sense of strong community here in the Sam Hughes area. I mean, there's a lot of events that go on down at the Sam Hughes Elementary School, and they also have Mahjong Monday, which is very, very popular. Now, the business scene is hopping as well. You've got a lot of restaurants down in that area, a lot of boutique stores, and a lot of really cool services. So the Sam Hughes neighborhood has got that kind of cool vibe. It's kind of a blend between the old, the new, the modern, and the conveniences of downtown Tucson. You're gonna wanna check this one out because it is a fan favorite of ours, and it should not be ranked number 10. All right, and coming in at number 9 is Dove Mountain. And I think they got that one wrong too. I think Dove Mountain's more of a top 5 kind of area, and that's based solely off of the number of people that ask us about Dove Mountain, as well as the number of properties that we've sold up there in Dove Mountain. Now, if you look where Dove Mountain is on the map, you're gonna see that it's about 25, 30 miles north of downtown Tucson. And to get to downtown Tucson, we're talking maybe 30, 45 minutes, just depending on traffic and which way that you go. Now, Dove Mountain is nestled at the base of the Tortolita Mountains. So you do have an opportunity to find a home that will have a great mountain view, but check this out. It's also elevated a little bit, so you might get a view of the city as well. So there's a lot going on up there. But no matter where you are up in Dove Mountain, nobody's gonna beat those picturesque sunsets. It is a pretty big master plan community. It covers about 6,200 acres. And you know, when I go up and I look around Dove Mountain, I really think and feel like they built it for the luxury and the comfort of the residents, the folks that live there. Now, if you're into golf, you gotta check out the world-class Dove Mountain Golf Course, man. They've played a lot of PGA events up there too. But if you're into hiking, there's over 50 miles of hiking and biking trails out there in the mountains, and there are wild horses up there as well. You're also going to find the Ritz-Carlton, which is one of Arizona's premier resorts and spas. Now, they also have some amazing upscale dining up there at the Ritz, and one of my favorites that they have is the avocado French fries. They are amazing. You got to try them if you go up there. Now, as far as homes go, you're going to find a great big variety. You've got some mid-priced homes lower down on the mountain, and as you go up, you're going to find some semi-customs, and you go up even further, you're going to find some estates that are up in the 7 figures. So they've got a big variety. You can pretty much find what it is that you want up there. Now, I don't know why they ranked this number 9. It's clearly a top 5 for me, especially with all the people that ask about it and the big variety and the amazing golf and food. And coming in at number 8 is going to be Rita Ranch. But don't be fooled by that 8 designation. I think you're going to actually be surprised. You see, Rita Ranch is southeast of Tucson just a little bit, and it feels like they strategically placed it right along I-10 to make that commute up to Tucson simple. I mean, heck, even getting to Phoenix isn't a big deal right now from Rita Ranch. Now, a lot of the folks that live in Rita Ranch actually work up at the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Now, Rita Ranch is also one of the faster growing communities here around Tucson. We're seeing more businesses, restaurants, and shopping centers sprout up on a regular basis down there. And Rita Ranch is actually in the Vail School District, which is one of the highest rated school districts in all of Arizona. And it's not unusual for our out-of-state buyers to call us up and say that they want something specifically in the Vail School District, and Rita Ranch fits that checkbox. And in addition to the great schools, Rita Ranch is a great fit for families because of all the parks and the activities for kids. Now, as far as homes go in Rita Ranch, you're going to get a little more bang for your buck than you will in other parts of Tucson. Now, you're going to find single-family homes, you're going to find condos, townhomes, and you're going to find a variety of styles down in Rita Ranch and a variety of price points to meet your budget. And if you're into exploring, you're right next to the Saguaro National Park East, as well as the Colossal Caves Mountain, which those are a blast, especially with the kids. Now, with all the growth in Rita Ranch, I think we're going to see a lot more amenities and a lot more infrastructure coming up in the near future. And rolling in at number 7 is going to be Tanque Verde, but it may just be your number 1. It's a lot of folks' number 1. It's absolutely gorgeous out there. There's a lot more trees, a lot more greenery than you find in other areas of Tucson. Now, it's nestled just east of Tucson at the base of the Santa Catalina Mountains and the Rincon Mountains. So you're going to be able to have some nice mountain views. And the other thing that you're going to notice is if you live out there, every day is going to feel like it should be on a postcard. Now, for the outdoor enthusiasts, you've got the Tanque Verde Falls and the Agua Caliente Park. Now, here's something that's actually really cool, is that Tanque Verde has some historical significance as well, because it has some of the oldest dude ranches in all of Arizona where you can actually go get that true Wild West experience. The Tanque Verde School District is one of the highest rated school districts around, which makes it a great place to raise a family. And as far as housing goes, you're going to find a great big variety, anything from some older ranch estates to some modern estates to even the equestrian estates. So if you've got horses, you're going to fit right in. And one thing you're going to notice when you're looking at properties in Tanque Verde is that the lots are significantly larger than they are around the majority of Tucson. So people that live in Tanque Verde, they get that kind of rural community feeling, but they also like the amenities of being just a short drive away from the city. So if you're looking for a blend of rural charm and quick access to what's happening down in the city, then Tanque Verde is going to check that box, and you may want to put that up on your number 1. And coming in at number 6 is going to be Green Valley, but it may just be what you're looking for, and here's why. You see, Green Valley is about a half hour south of Tucson, just located smack dab there on I-19. So getting back up to Tucson or down to Mexico isn't really a big deal. It's a pretty easy drive. Now, Green Valley is an active adult haven. It's got several 55-plus communities that really have a lot of amenities and activities that cater to that senior population. And there's multiple golf courses, including a par 3. So getting a tee time really shouldn't be a big problem. Now, when you live in Green Valley, you're going to buy a membership to the Green Valley Recreation. And what that's going to do is get you access to the recreation center, to all the pools, and they have training classes, they have sports, and a lot more. You're going to be busy and you're going to meet a lot of people. Now, you're going to get some great mountain views, and being so close to Madera Canyon, you're going to have some opportunities for some fantastic hiking and bird watching as well. And because you're south of Tucson about a half hour, your budget for buying a house is going to stretch a little bit further. As far as healthcare goes, you've got a great hospital down there. You've got several clinics, including a VA clinic. So if you're looking for a 55 plus area that's close to nature, it's got a lot of activities, and maybe not super close to the city, then Green Valley needs to be on your list. Coming in at number 5 is Sahuarita. Now, I've been living here for 18 years, and I don't know that I've ever said that word correct. So I'm gonna go over and we're gonna learn how to say this one together right now. So here we go. I'm on the translate thing.
Sahuarita.
Sahuarita. Sahuarita. Okay, so there we go. Sahuarita. So coming in at number 5 is Sahuarita. It's just north of Green Valley, it's about 30 minutes south of Tucson. Now the Sahuarita Master Plan Community offers a ton of events. They've got a ton of clubs, and so there's always something going on, and they do a real good job of getting people outside to meet their neighbors. So when you start doing a search for homes in Sahuarita, you're gonna notice something really obvious, and that's there's a big giant lake right in the middle of the planned development. And yes, you can fish in that. It's great for picnics, and there is a hiking trail that goes all the way around. Now, this is another place that has some amazing schools, which makes it a great place to raise kids. Now, a lot of people, when they call us, the first thing they want to know is about the schools. So Sahuarita is one of the places we share with them. As far as housing go, Sahuarita is going to be a little bit less expensive than other areas of Tucson. There's a big variety from entry-level homes to large estates. So you've got a big variety that you are able to choose from in Sahuarita. I said it right. And coming in at number 4 is Marana, Arizona. And Marana is where we live, and we absolutely love it. Now, Marana is actually the fastest growing part of Tucson and one of the fastest growing areas in the entire state of Arizona. We're located just northwest of downtown Tucson by maybe 10-15 minutes, so going back and forth isn't a big deal. As far as the types of homes you're gonna find here in Marana, you're gonna find everything from ranch to some contemporaries to maybe some new construction. Man, there's a lot of new construction here. And by the way, I've got a video all about the Marana new construction. If that's what you're looking for, make sure you check that one out too. And also, if you are looking for a 7-figure estate, we've got several of those as well. Now, as for shopping, we've got that super popular premium outlet mall right off of I-10 where you can find just about everything that you need. Now, if you want to go find some more boutique kind of thing, since we're right off of I-10, it's easy to hop on I-10, cruise on down to downtown Tucson, and there's a ton of boutique shops down there. As far as restaurants and eating, you've got a lot of big chains here. You've got everything from the Chili's to the Texas Roadhouse, and you've also got some really cool mom and pop places that have been around for what seems like 100 years. Take, for instance, Little Abner's Steakhouse, which is a really fun place, and I believe they have music on Friday nights. And you've got golf galore here in Marana. You've got everything from Top Golf, where you can go get a brewski and maybe a bite to eat and just hit a couple balls, all the way to the Gallery at Dove Mountain, which is one of the best golf courses in the entire state of Arizona. Now let's talk about outdoor activities. Not only are there a lot of parks, little league fields and such, but with the mountains, you've got a lot of hiking trails, a lot of biking trails as well. And there are even some trails where you can go find some petroglyphs, and that is really cool. But let's say that hiking and biking, petroglyphs, maybe that's not exciting enough for you. You've got to get that adrenaline rush going. Well, you're going to want to go check out the Marana Skydiving Center. Now, Marana does a lot of festivals throughout the year. Everything from the Marana Bluegrass Festival to the Star Spangled Spectacular that they do over the 4th of July. Now, while Marana is growing rapidly, it still has that kind of agricultural charm with all the local farms and the farm produce stands too. Now, coming in at number 3 is going to be Vail, Arizona. And by the way, it is one of the most popular places that our people do ask us about. And Vail is located southeast of Tucson, just over about 30 minutes on I-10. So in Vail, the housing is going to vary quite a bit. You're going to find everything from that 1960s brick home that maybe needs to be remodeled on up to properties that have been remodeled to contemporary homes, new construction, and there's even quite a few luxury homes down there as well. But one thing's for sure, since Vail's a little bit out of the way, your budget, your dollar for buying a home is actually going to go a little bit further than it would in the majority of Tucson. So the number 1 driver to Vail, it's the school district. You see, Vail has one of the top rated school districts in the entire state of Arizona. In fact, a lot of folks will call us up and ask us about Vail specifically because of the school district. And because you're so close to the mountains, you've got a lot of hiking, a lot of outdoor activities, and you're super close to the Colossal Cave Mountain Park. And you're gonna find a lot of golf courses down there, a lot of parks, and even some riding stables to go ride your horse. So there's a lot of diversity in the outdoor activities that you can do. The only real negative I ever get about Vail is it lacks a bunch of restaurants. You're gonna be visiting the same establishments over and over again. Although with the growth, I do anticipate that will move and grow, but for now, there's just not a whole lot of restaurants, a lot of eateries in Vail. Now, what's really cool is if you go to niche.com, they list Vail as the #2 suburb in the entire state of Arizona to buy a house. So if you listen to niche.com, you can't go wrong. So with the natural beauty of Vail and their emphasis on education, it's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to go for recreation. That could move it to one of the top spots on your list. And #2 is going to be the Catalina Foothills. And I got to tell you, a lot of folks make this their #1. The Catalina Foothills is just north of Tucson, and it's nestled at the base of the Santa Catalina Mountains. And so you're going to get some nice mountain views. And because it is elevated a little bit too, there's a good opportunity for some nice city views as well. The Catalina Foothills boast some of the most expensive housing in all of Tucson. You've got everything from some sprawling estates to condos, townhomes, Mediterranean-style homes as well, and quite a few seven-figure luxury properties. Catalina Foothills defines the luxury housing market of Tucson. And this is where you're going to find La Encantada, which is Tucson's premier shopping center. And they also boast some of the finest dining in Tucson as well. As for outdoor activities, you've got lots of hiking, including Sabino Canyon, which is a favorite for people around Tucson, and people come here from all over the world just to hike Sabino Canyon. And Catalina Foothills is another area that boasts fabulous schools, so it is a great place to raise a family. You'll also find some championship golfing like La Paloma and Ventana Canyon, another golfer's paradise here in Tucson. Now, in several of my videos, I talk about the roads in and around Tucson, how it can be hit and miss and they're not maintained. That doesn't happen in the Catalina Foothills. The Catalina Foothills knows how to maintain their roads, and they're in fantastic shape compared to the rest of Tucson. And you're also going to find some excellent farmers markets like the Heirloom Farmers Market. Now, the prestige of the Catalina Foothills isn't just because of the rankings. It has a lot to do with the culture, the natural beauty, and the luxury of that area. It does truly stand out from much of Tucson. Now, taking the crown in the ChatGPT top 10 best places to live in Tucson, Arizona is Oro Valley. Now, when we moved to Tucson 18 years ago, we picked Oro Valley to call our home, and I'm very, very glad we did. Oro Valley is very family friendly and a great place to raise kids. It's located just north of the Catalina Foothills and just east of Marana, right at the base of the Santa Catalina Mountains, where you can get some fantastic mountain views. And what's really cool is when the sun sets in the east, those mountains reflect and they turn pink. Now, as far as housing goes, you're going to get everything from your single family homes, your condos, townhomes, on up to those seven-figure estates, but it's definitely less expensive than the Catalina Foothills. Now, what I think is kind of funny is Oro Valley has become kind of a tech hub and a health hub of southern Arizona, and so it's kind of gotten that nickname of the Silicon Valley of southern Arizona. Now, as far as outdoor activities, there's a lot of golf here, including the El Conquistador Golf Club, and you've got the Catalina State Park, which has some great hiking, and they actually have weekend concerts. Now, Oro Valley does place a lot of emphasis on education and youth programs, so it's a great place to raise families. And it always seems like there's some sort of art festival going on, whether it's over at the Oro Valley Marketplace or over at the historic Steam Pump Ranch. So if you're looking for a place that's got great views, is family friendly, lots of activities to do, maybe a little bit higher on the budget range, then Oro Valley definitely checks those boxes. Now, I had an absolute blast making an artificial intelligence powered top 10 list of best places to live here in Tucson, Arizona, and sharing it with you. And don't forget that Darci and I get calls every day from folks who are doing a little bit of research about moving here to Tucson, and we love it, man. So if any of those areas kind of rang a bell for you and you want to know some more information about them, go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text message, because we got your back when making that move to Tucson. Now, your next job is to watch one of these other videos that I've got here for you. I don't know where they put it, but it's up here somewhere, and we'll see you in the next video.